Welcome back to the Bryan Devore Connection. I'm your host, Bryan Devore. Wouldn't it be great if there was a holistic approach to your wellness, mind, body, and spirit? Well, I'm here to tell you that there is that, and here to talk about 360 Wellness and the holistic approach to your mind, body, and spirit is Jackson Hale. Jackson, how you doing today?
Bryan, I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me on.
My pleasure. So you and I have known each other for years. I've seen you throughout this whole journey. Writing the book, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to bring you on once again in the studio to talk about kind of where you're at now. Let's go back a little bit and talk about your background and what brought you here.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you. It's been quite the journey, right? About 6-7 years now since I think we first met.
Mm-hmm.
And so I grew up in Texas, came out to California for school, actually right at Azusa Pacific. And so I studied exercise science with a focus in physical therapy. And from that place, I went into personal training. I went into corrective exercise. I was always really focused on nutrition. And so that led me to really meeting you at the gym, right?
Yeah, and you helped correct some of my stretches and stuff. And that led to, you were my trainer for a while.
I was your trainer. And so it was all physical, right? And I had this heart with my physical therapy background to help relieve pain and prevent pain. So I even got licensed in massage therapy at the time.
Right.
So it's kind of that dual approach to fitness and also healing and prevention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's right.
And just continued that journey. Went in and started the business 360 Wellness, which really was about 4 or 5 year journey. And from that place, what took hold was as my faith deepened, I really had an experience with God and felt, not just religiously as I grew up, in the day-to-day, it was more of a relationship. And I felt God's presence and love for the first time. And so that really deepened and rooted my approach to true wellness, to true health care. And from that place, as you even saw me kind of evolve and journey through the company 360 Wellness, I transitioned into kind of a nonprofit model.
Right.
Yeah. And so when was the last time we worked together? It was about 2018, I think.
Yeah, and I think you were doing massage at the time, so we had that. We did some training actually leading up through the pandemic. The pandemic hit, and that kind of changed some things. And you went mobile. Which was really cool.
And so that right there, that was that kind of transitional time. I think 2019, I had this thought right before 2020. It was maybe September or October. I had two things kind of come to me. One was to fully go into the path that I wanted to go into with 360 Wellness. I always had this vision, this heart of being a global nonprofit where we brought the holistic care to people in need. There's a term called medical missions where people go similar to the Red Cross, right, or Mercy Ships, if you've ever heard of that. They go into a region in need and provide free care for those who are really hurting and really in need. And so that was actually the vision all along. So I had this funny thought, at what point do I need to get the company to then make that leap? And I didn't really have an answer. A wasn't really getting me to B, so why don't I just begin to start that process now? And that was right before 2020.
Amazing timing.
Man. So at the same time, I had this thought, hey, I also need to write my book. And it was really just the philosophy and model around 360 Wellness and what this healthcare system looks like. And it's not just physical health, which is good. There's some value in that. But there's mental, emotional, and spiritual health. Obviously, we're much more than just a body. We have a heart, we have a mind, and we have a soul. And so to really encapsulate, that's a word, full wellness, full healing, you need to look at the full picture. And that's, I guess, the 360 model there.
Right.
And so it's been quite the journey.
And you talk about your books right
Brought
here.
A few of them.
And you can get on your website, which we'll get to in just a minute.
Amazon, Barnes & Noble.
Right.
Yeah.
I had a chance to read it, which is awesome. Got to hear, really where you're coming from.
Appreciate you.
And so, but I love how you're transitioning to the nonprofit model. So talk about kind of how that works and how people can get enrolled in supporting it.
Right. I guess two two quick things is, in this day and age, I believe that your wellness should be free. That's kind of one of my taglines right now. And people may disagree in that, but there is too much opposition against our physical, mental, and emotional health these days for there not to be change in the system. And so healthcare is going one way. There's a lot of dependence on medicine, on medication, yet there's no true healing or solution. And so we have a heart to take a holistic, preventative approach to true health, true wellness. And so this looks like, at this time, through two main events through my organization, 360 Wellness, which is now operating more as a nonprofit than a business. We ask for nothing from those that we serve, only a heart to change. Because knowledge is great, but if you don't take action, it's useless, right? And so we have a heart for creating a space every quarter in San Marcos, California right now, through Exhort Health, which is our healthcare partner. And we're providing free care for a few hours to the community. And that looks like doctors, nurses, chiropractors, physical therapists, even counselors, talk therapists, those who can create a space for support and just talk therapy. And even a prayer room, people who want to be supported or just talk to someone who needs some care. We're able to facilitate that for the churches and the local community.
Yeah,
so I know that's kind of a lot. It's been a lot going on lately, but it's a new model.
Well, and what I love about it too is it's taking people back to preventative. It's like we don't have a healthcare system; we have a sick care system where you take care of the sickness. But going before that, how do you prevent that from even coming to happen? It's the proactive approach.
Proactive approach. Yet many of us, it's just human nature. Like I get it. I do the same thing at times. We wait till the end. We wait till we're in pain. We wait till we're sick. We wait till we, shoot ourselves in the foot.
Right.
But to think of it as optimization, and that's my heart with the book You Were Created for Greatness, which biblically talks about Jesus going deeper with people, and that deep impact in the lives of others is what I believe true greatness is. It's not about you exalting yourself or being somebody on Instagram or all these, influencers or people who make money. It's not what you do per se, it's how much you can help or impact people around you. And so that's the greatness model that I'm kind of incorporating all of this around, right? So it's, okay, how can we be our best? How can we optimize our health physically, mentally, and spiritually? Not just for ourselves, not just for our family, but for those that we're created to impact.
Yeah.
And that would be a pretty beautiful model as this, and once this really gets rocking, to really pour into ignite people's life and vitality.
Right.
Man, things will change.
Right.
Imagine if people begin to rise up and stop. Well, there's two things there. There's stress, and stress allows us makes us focus inward, right? So relieving that stress for people to where we can then go out and to come from a place of abundance and help people is kind of the model. So those two things, relieving the stress and then empowering people. Hey, okay, who can you now go help now that you've found more of your health, more of your wellness, more of your wholeness?
Right.
If that makes sense.
No, it's awesome.
I'm just kind of flowing here.
No, it's great.
Yeah.
No, it's great. It's perfect. And so I love you have your events on your website, and on screen is the information that you can check out Jackson, his book, and the different programs that he has. But if you're listening on Spotify, then it's in the caption. But you can get a hold of him through email and so forth. But on the website, it talks more about how you can support Jackson's mission in a variety of ways, the different events that you're doing.
Yeah, to that you can support through prayer, through coming and volunteering, through financial donations. But really my heart is, hey, if you're a leader, if you're in the local community, come and just get refreshed, come and get served. The last event I wanted to mention was a monthly group class that I'm hosting through my model of physical, mental, and spiritual health. And we're a faith-based Christian program, yet we're open to all. And we invite people to work on their prayer, their meditation, their mindfulness in conjunction with their physical health, right?
Yeah.
And so it's about going deeper with people and creating a space for healthy community and connection.
Right, and the holistic,
Holistic
for
approach.
everything.
It's hitting all the spots. And so I'm excited to see what continues to happen, see what God does, but it's for the church and all who come.
Yeah, no, me too. I've loved seeing you on your journey. I'm looking forward to staying with you the rest of the way and see where it goes.
It's been fun. Let's keep rocking.
That's right. Thanks, Jackson.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.